Previously on Chief Concerns.
What would Randy say? What's some of the stuff he would say, man?
So I was basically known as a physical corner, and he knew that because of training camp. And I remember the game that we played him, and it was always, come on, 44, don't be putting your hands on me now, 44. It's a run, it's a run play, they ain't coming your way. And so I'm like, man, you think I'm about to believe this here? And all of a sudden they go the other way.
Could he be a number two? Yes, he could. But here's a good thing about the offense, is because it's such a transitional offense, you have a lot of variety that I don't think you really have, and that's a good thing about it, is because you can put any of those guys as being number two.
It's the corner where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you made it here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We got to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
This episode of Chief Concerns is brought to you by BetOnline.AG.
July is underway and a great month for sports. If you're into sports betting, BetOnline is where you can find it. From the NBA and hockey playoffs to baseball's marquee matchups, including prop bets and futures, BetOnline has all the odds, news, and information for all your online sports betting needs. Visit the website today or use your mobile device to join and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. So before the next tip-off, face-off, or pitch, head on over to BetOnline and start playing today. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. Welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. Tonight is a little different as we have Detroit's own and former Chiefs defensive tackle Lional Dalton come on. But this episode solely deals with what Lional is going through as he goes through stage 4 kidney disease. For more information, please go to newkidneyforjellyroll.com.
What up, man?
Looking like Kimbo Slice.
Y'all got the Green Eye Bandit on here?
Looking like Kimbo Slice.
What's going on? Hey, y'all get out. Get out. Y'all too loud. Get out. Kids, man. What's going on, fella?
Man, we trying to catch up with you. What's going on in your world?
Man, I'm over here chilling, man. Waiting, man. You know me, I'm waiting.
Wait, yeah.
What are they telling you? How long is the wait supposed to be? What are they
Man, so I had a living donor, right? And so I was waiting for her to have her last test results. And then the hospital called me, told me they got a kidney for me. So the deceased donor kidneys don't last as long as the living donor. The living donors can last for 40 years. Deceased lasts like 15, 20 years. Gotcha. So I said no to the deceased donor, and then the living donor found out last minute that we didn't have the same antibodies. So I had a kid. I missed out. So I'm waiting for the next go around.
Gotcha.
So
what's the stuff on you? What's this here? You ain't been scoring no cocaine.
Hey man, baking soda. He said, "What's this here?" Yeah, I ain't even see that, bro. Damn, I'm glad you caught that. I'm over looking like Charlie Murphy.
Yeah. He like, hell, he out here wide open. Ain't he? Look at him. He's
Yeah. No, man.
Like Jelly do like this, man. Hey, hold on for a second. Let's go.
Hey, man, y'all stupid. Hey,
So how's
man.
everything going, gentlemen? How's the family?
Man, everybody good, man. We just chilling, man. You know, I got the young girls in camp right now. And, you know, I got the 2 older kids. They in college, so.
Right. So how many kids you got?
4.
Jerry?
I got 4.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's the ages?
21, 19, 6, and 2.
Wow. Oh, you 6 and 2?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm the one that's
Well, I
too
don't want to
loud.
be rude, man. My man, that's just Marcus Dash, and Marcus, this is Jelly, well, Lionel Dalton.
What's up,
What's
Lionel?
up, Mark?
I'm a big fan, Lionel. When they told me you were coming on the show today, I was like, hell yeah. I was like, the
He
only
lives in
numbers.
the DC area.
Are you from DC?
Yep.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite cities, man. I love DC.
It's a good spot.
Yeah.
I used to work up in the Michigan area, mid Michigan. I worked in and lived in Lansing for 2 years. And so
Okay.
I know you're from Detroit, so.
You went to Michigan State? You a Spartan?
No, I report at the NBC station up there in Lansing, so I
Okay.
got to know some of the Spartan kids and the Ann Arbor kids.
Okay. All right. That's good. So you live in Kansas now?
No, I'm still in the DC area. Just
Oh, you're in
No,
DC?
man, we all over the board. He DC. Right now I'm in Colorado. JD out there in Kentucky. Hell,
I thought you was in Dallas.
Costa Rica, I think.
JD, you in Costa
I'm
Rica?
out in Colorado for. You in Costa Rica.
Did you say Costa Rica? No.
No. So he's in Colorado right now. Yeah, but I'm in Kentucky. That's where I'm at, Kentucky.
Okay, yeah, that's where you from, right?
Yeah, that's where I'm from. Should I wish I was in Costa Rica? Shoot. Good. I click my heels and get there right now. Shit.
Yeah. A lot of people moving over to Costa Rica.
So, man, won't you just explain what your situation, what you're going through, like what you.
Well, shit, it was 2020. I had a New Year's Eve party, and I woke up about 3:00 in the morning. I was short of, I couldn't breathe. Went to the fire station across the street, not too far from my house, and my blood pressure was like stroke level, and my oxygen level was really low. So I went to the hospital, and Piedmont Hospital here in Atlanta. They told me my kidneys was functioning about 20%, and I need to go on dialysis ASAP. And pretty much I've been on dialysis every day. Not every day, but ever since. I'm on it like 3 days a week for like 4 hours.
So what causes that?
Well, with me, it was the high blood pressure. Like I should have lost the weight as soon as I retired. But I got up to like 365. And so my blood pressure was really high. And I was trying to do it naturally. And because I wasn't losing the weight and I was trying to do it naturally, I end up my blood pressure ended up damaging the veins or the cells that go to my kidneys, my veins that connect to my kidney, to my body. Those will end up being destroyed, which gave me stage 4 renal failure.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So right now I do the dialysis. Dialysis, it takes the liquid out of your body, because when your kidney's not working, you don't go to the restroom, you don't use the bathroom. And so too much fluid in the body is bad on the heart. So they try to remove a lot of the fluid, and they remove a lot of the toxins. So I can't eat too many bananas or avocado. I can't have a lot of potassium. So that's bananas, avocado, all the stuff that's good for you. So I got to monitor that, and I can only drink like 32 ounces of water a day.
Oh, wow. So how many times you going for dialysis a week?
3 days a week for like 4 hours and like 30 minutes.
Wow.
So really, it's kind of a double whammy. Then you're talking about being dehydrated, fight dehydration, as well as doing the dialysis, man, to get everything in order. Yeah,
that's the problem too. Because if you get dehydrated, that can cause all types of issues with the body. Yeah. So for me, I'm on. I got a lot of ice cubes. I got to monitor that water. But that's the big issue with dialysis, dehydration. Dehydration causes all types of issues in the body. So that's why it's important to try to get a kidney as soon as possible, get everything functioning normal, so you don't do too much damage. So the dialysis over a long period of time can create havoc to the body, the heart, to the heart and the lungs.
Okay. My brother, man.
Hey man, I want y'all to say hi to Craig real quick.
Yo, baby, who is it?
This is my agent, Craig Dolman.
Hey guys, what's up?
We got Jason.
Craig, what's up, man? How you doing?
Chiefs, and then Lionel Dalton played defensive tackle with us. He's actually Baltimore.
I remember those guys.
And, Marcus is he's with the news, and me and him became friends over Twitter. So he contacted me and Jason about doing a podcast. And how long we been doing this so far?
Since like October.
Yeah.
Yes, we've been going pretty strong. Got a sponsor and had a lot of guys on. T. Rich, Coach Vermeil.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Vernon Dean.
Dean?
Dante
I had
Hall.
Dick on.
Yeah, we had Dick on here. Dick was,
How
Dick
you
was
doing,
tripping.
man?
He had a couple of glasses of wine with him.
Of course.
And
That's
you
funny.
want-
Dick Vermeil, on my visit there, he get me drunk. We talking, we just drinking. As soon as I'm drunk, he's asking me all personal questions and shit.
Smart
He
man.
good for that. Him and is old ball still around?
Old Balls is still
I
around.
think Mike is, yeah.
Yeah, Mike is still around.
Ron was going through dialysis because he's got kidney failure right now. So we, right now talking about old football memories and trying to bring awareness to him and his situation. And I don't know if any way we can help.
Appreciate it, brothers.
Yeah, for sure.
Now,
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll pray for you.
There you go. Right.
Thank you.
God, the Almighty God can heal you, man.
Yeah, man, I feel pretty good, man. I mean, compared to everybody else I see in dialysis, I'm doing all right, So I'm just I'm eating a lot better. So, when your kidney's not working, you feel, if you eat bad, you feel it. So I'm pretty much a vegan right now.
Wow.
For the most part, I eat little salmon here and there, but for the most part, it's vegetables and fruit.
Well, I should probably gonna stay with you for a couple of weeks so I can lose this 20.
Yeah, I lost shit. I lost like 100 pounds.
100 pounds? That's good.
Yeah, I'm like 260 right now.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so
Man, you know what? It's almost those things that we feel like we could just do. And I've kind of gotten more like a plant-based diet, too. And I just knew I had to shut it down. And I say this, and I want to ask you this, because it was after I got finished playing, I went to the doctor and he was telling me that my kidneys was like on like 90%. He said, Jason, think about it like this as a car. He says, when you revving all the way up to 100%, yours is probably around about like 90 or so, and they're going down. He said, usually when guys come in here like that, two things happen. He said, either, you've been, football player, been taking like creatine, the whey, protein.
The Toradol.
Toradol. Yeah, he said all those things hurt your kidneys. And so, see, when we're young, we don't think about it. When the doctor's coming in and they come in like, hey, we want to check your kidneys because, you're taking these medications.
Man, I only took all that stuff because the vets took that stuff. I didn't know what the heck I was getting shot in my butt or my hip.
Right.
You see the vets, it's all the vets that's going lined up like, man, what y'all doing? Man,
right.
You go ahead and get you a shot. Like,
yeah.
And we all did it.
Well, you don't think about it 20 years down the road, how it's going to affect you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially when you're young, when you're playing, you don't think about those things.
Right.
They don't tell you like, hey, we need to, talk about maybe 25 years down the road, what this is going to be doing to your body, how it's going to be damaging. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what I found. That this a lot of the research I've been doing since I've been dealing with this, a lot of this stuff we did affected the kidneys. I'm surprised more of us don't have issues with our kidneys for all the medications and stuff we're taking. Because Motrin is bad for, ibuprofen is bad for the kidneys, some Toradol, that Vicodin, all that stuff we just have it on the kidneys. So,
man, I tell you what, I have like little things that, I've had some little pains and, I don't know, I guess a couple of issues that I've kind of dealt with. And I dealt with it on my own, except for the one in particular. I had a low stomach pain. And it was my appendix, and I had no clue. My appendix had burst the day before, and I went the next day and got the surgery. But hell, I didn't know what it was. I just thought I was having like gas or some kind of stomach issues. I didn't know.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I'm calling my best friend's wife, and she's like, Eric, I think you better run to the hospital or urgent care. And I get there, and dude was like, man, you could have died because that stuff leak into your body and kill you. But I never noticed stuff like that, and it scares me because like we're getting older, we're gonna have issues. Pain, and all that stuff is gonna linger a little bit longer. But then also, like when you go to the hospital, you thinking you're fine, all of a sudden they tell you things you ain't never thought about that you never want to hear. So that's the thing that kind of scares me with just life and health. But yes, we do need to get checkups accordingly. But then again, like some of those checkups can bring a nightmare.
Right.
But think about it like this, and I'm right with you, E. It's better to address those things earlier than later, right?
Right.
Better to kind of get on it. So that's what I thought about it, because I was just like you. Just as men, we just don't do that, and we should. We should be going in annually, at least twice a year. So I try to go at least 4 times a year.
Right.
At least, keeping up with it. When something does come up, then we can get on it right now, as opposed to wait until later, and we fall behind. We behind the 8 ball. And so we don't want to be there with it. We want to be able to address those things, maybe get things ready, with whatever it may be, man. We just see it, man, with cancer. We see it, man, with heart disease, like all those different things, man, that we deal with, just not just in our community in itself. We're talking about NFL. And the NFL's been doing a better job of trying to reach out to guys, get guys into the PCF, and, doing things over there with North Carolina and the brain and body, which they should have been doing this a long time ago. Which is
brain and body study.
Yeah. I'm glad they're trying to do that now, reaching out to guys. Guys just got to kind of reach back, because we've been putting that time in, and it's about time they started, putting their time back into us.
Right.
We've been using all y'all as a commodity. Y'all been out on the field, kind of breaking you up. Everybody looks at the money, right? But that money is basically used for your health later on, right?
Exactly.
And they say, we know NFL players don't live as long as everybody else. That's what they say. The average life of NFL players is less than the normal people out here. And so a lot of it has to do with, how we played, what we did to our body. Shoot, sleep apnea is another one. You know what I mean? Dealing with, I'm on CPAP right now, dealing with sleep apnea. And then when I started getting my weight down, it started going away a little bit. It made it a lot easier. But those are things like that affect the heart.
Yep.
All those things, man. So,
I was on sleep apnea too until I lost this weight. And they finally took me off of it about 2 or 3 months ago.
That's good. That's good. It's a great sign. Because put a lot of stress on your heart, man. When you start realizing how many times you stop breathing at night.
Right.
Like when I got the number, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. They was like, no,
it's scary. Yeah, I did the test. It was scary, the results, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you don't even know it. You just, wake up short of breath. It's like, that's real, man.
Yeah.
I think that's Orlando Brown, Zeus. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah, of course.
That's what he died of, sleep apnea.
Did he? Wow. What's his name? Reggie White.
Yeah, he had died of it as well, right?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Man, I didn't know that. Lionel Brown did.
I think his son in Kansas City now, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the one that we just got from Baltimore?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading the other day that Albert Haynesworth actually, 2 months ago, he had a kidney transplant. And he said that he blamed his kidney problems on anti-inflammatory shots he was getting before games and stuff. And he says, I don't know if it's true or not, but he said that that's what he blamed his kind of kidney problems on was the shot that he was getting before the games.
Yeah, I talked to him. I saw that as well. I reached out to him. We've been going back and forth. He's been giving me advice, and he just got his kidney. I think he just got a kidney 2 or 3 months ago. Was it 2 or 3 months ago? Yeah.
Okay.
So but he blamed it on his Toradol shot. That's what he claimed. You never know. It probably was then.
Right. Well, you compounded it, right? Toradol. You do anti-inflammatories, right? All the other stuff on top of it. And, back in the league, man, they giving you what you want. Right. So, And
then the Motrin, I used to take Motrin sometimes for practice. That's bad on the kidneys as well.
I took everything. I was taking Flexerol, all that crap. Like,
Now, is that one of those things that they brief you on that stuff before, like, hey, you're going to take this and this could affect you, or they just give it to you and that's kind of how it goes?
I've never been explained to this is a possible side effect of what you're taking. It's always, because I had back issues in my, I think, second year in the league. And it was more so to the point of, we need you to take this to keep your muscles loose, to kind of alleviate pain. to deal with other certain issues, and so you never get explained to the possible side effects.
No.
That's where all these lawsuits are coming from too, is because like the NFL didn't explain as a whole, you know, the side effects of a whole lot of this stuff. You know, the helmets, the hits, the treatment stuff that we're getting. You know, and every team there's somebody on the team that's always going to tell you get a second opinion. Don't go based upon what that team is telling you. Always get a second opinion. So
yeah. Sometimes you got to do what's just in your best interest. I mean, at the end of the day, man, you got to live with yourself. You got to live with your family. You know, I mean, being in the NFL is going to be, you know, a short career. I mean, so
I wish I had done that, Jason. I wish I had that kind of leverage to take, take it upon myself to say, hey, I'm just going to not practice this week. I'm not going to play.
Yeah.
Because, man, I laced them up. I came after the Tennessee game. It was a game where we knocked out Steve McNair, got his rib cage broke by Dwayne Clemens.
Yeah.
After that game, man, I went to bend over to untie my shoes, and I couldn't move. And so they came and got me up. I untied the other one. I was stuck again. So they got me up, put me on a stretcher, got me back to Kansas City. And it was, Carl Peterson, Coach Mill. I know it may not have been Coach Mill, it might have been Gunther. But I know Carl Peterson was there. And it was, hey, how do we get him back on the field without doing surgery right away? And so, Dr. Brown was like, we can give him an epidural shot right now and put him on these little, this medication right now and give him an epidural shot 2 weeks later. He should have the strength to go back out and play. 2 weeks later, I was back out on the field.
Damn.
Yeah.
And it was every single year. I was getting 3 epidural shots a year until until the no punt game we had against Indy. My body couldn't do it anymore, and I finally had to have the surgery. And so, I was compounding all that crap, man, just meds after meds, shots after shots.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, heck, you just got to fight through it, because I was trying to earn that, that contract. I was trying to still earn my name. And so I didn't have it to where, like, I could just say, hey, I'm gonna sit this week out, coach. I'm gonna sit this day off, coach. It wasn't like that for me.
Wow. I think also too, man, it's our mentality, right? Because we got a warrior mentality anyway about getting out there on the field. We love what we do. So, we've been conditioned to kind of, get back on the field as fast as possible so we can show what we want, what we can do. So we do get big contracts, we do have, the adulation of, being out there with football players. But it's, man, I'm right there with you. 2006, I tell people this all the time. 2006, the whole season, I was probably getting about an hour and a half of sleep at night.
Wow.
Every single day. And it was when my bad back, same thing, bad back. It was almost a game time decision. You know how that game time decision come. How you feeling? You doing all right? You on the what's that? The list, maybe, to play or not. So it's touch and go. And so they could always give a list like right before the game to say, okay, now he's good to play, right? We're taking him off the list. And I remember, man, I bought me a brand new couch, a bed. I mean, I did everything I possibly do to get comfortable. And I just couldn't get comfortable. And it was just one of those things, man. I got in the hot tub, the cold tub. I did everything to loosen my back up just to play for wreck your body for 3 hours. And the worst was getting back on that plane. Man, we had to sit. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Sit for about 3. Oh, my goodness. That was the worst.
Yeah.
I don't even know if y'all ever came to my room during training camp, but for the last few years I was in Kansas City, the Chiefs had to buy me one of the adjustable beds. So I had one of the beds that, you can lift. I forget what are they called, Marcus?
Like the sleep number beds?
Basically, it was what it was.
Yeah, adjustable bed. That's right. Yeah.
They for camp for the last 3 years I was there, they had me one of those beds. But it was never when it came to game day, it was never, hey Warfare, how you feel? You think you can go? It was nope. You lacing them up, buddy.
That's nuts. Now, Lionel, you were on Good Morning America a few months ago, And
Yes.
what has kind of the response been like since you were on Good Morning America?
Well, before Good Morning America, I didn't have any living donors. After Good Morning America, I had 4 or 5 people get tested. So it definitely brought more attention to what I'm trying to get accomplished. And it's been a lot more people starting to volunteer and get tested. So it was a win for me. And we were it was for they had it was a organ donation month. And so that was the special they were doing for organ donation month. And they decided to have me on. And so that was nice. It definitely helped bring more attention to what I'm trying to get accomplished.
That's what's up.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we're going to bring on a guest right now. So this is Jason. This is your sister-in-law?
Yes. Sister-in-law, soon to be sister-in-law right here. So this shirt I'm wearing, right here, CrossFit Fig, they own this gym. She's
you ought to be in there every day then.
Huh?
You ought to be in there every day then.
Yeah, well, they're not in Kentucky. They're in Kansas City. So.
Hey.
Hey guys, how are you?
We're good. How you doing, Fatima?
Good. Look at you representing, Jason.
Yeah, of course. Look, I told you, I had to have you on. So I got to represent the family and all the great things y'all doing out there in Kansas City. I was just telling them how awesome job y'all do with the gym and whatnot, and y'all just awesome people in everything that y'all do. So.
Well, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and you're the first female guest that we've had. And so I love, the knowledge that you have, and I'll let you talk about a little bit about, the knowledge of what you say the lack of, but I think you do a tremendous job of knowing the game. So.
Well, I'm honored to be here. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm honored to be the first female guest, hopefully the first of many to come. But I'm originally from Brazil. I've been in the U.S. for about 19 years now and grew up. I was raised by a single father, so sports was always something in my house that was always going. As you know, in Brazil, we have huge soccer fans. And football never made it down there. So when I moved over here, Kansas City is a huge football town. I met my husband. He played ball. He was a D-back. He was a cornerback for a D2 football team. And I wanted to be able to relate to my husband and understand the love he had for football. And I had no football experience whatsoever. So I started dating him, and I wanted to be able to carry a conversation. I bought Football for Dummies. That's my story behind falling in love for football. I read it. I read Football for Dummies front to back. And one day we were at a date and we started talking about it, and he goes, "How do you know that?" I'm like, "Well, I started reading about football." And, and so it began my passion for the sport. It became instantly my favorite sport. I've been a Kansas City Chiefs diehard fan since for the past 14 years. And just happens that Jason is family. So it became even better. I watched him play several times back when he was with the Chiefs. At that time, I did not know a lot about football as much as I know today, but him and I have had great conversations, and I think I'm a little dangerous now, right, Jason?
Yeah.
What's your take on the season right now?
Hey, come on out here. Look,
what are your expectations on the season right now?
Oh man, I am so excited. I think the guys are fired up more than ever. After last year's loss. I love the enthusiasm that I've seen on social media from all of them. Travis Kelce, last week mentioned that he was extremely disappointed with the loss. So I'm
as
so
everybody
excited
else
for
was
it to come. Yeah, so I'm really excited for it. I mean, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So did y'all see yesterday the video that he posted that we've been pronouncing his last name wrong the entire time?
Yes, sir. It is Kels. It is Travis Kels. I was
really
blown away.
Oh, it is. I thought it was Kelsey too.
Wow.
Yeah, it is Kels. It is Kels, pronounced Kels, right? But it's spelled like Kelsey. So I think he just felt bad correcting everybody, and I feel it because nobody ever pronounces my name right. So.
Well, they had an article with his brother because a radio show asked him about Jason Kelsey from Philadelphia. They asked him about the name situation, and he said that apparently his father, for the longest time, wasn't correcting people, and he ended up kind of adopting Kelsey because he just stopped correcting people at his job. But apparently, it's a kind of a division thing in the family. Half the family goes by Kels, and half the family goes by Kelsey. So they kind of just Jason and Travis kind of adopted the whole like not really correcting people their whole life. And so they say Kels or Kelsey's right. You're not wrong if you say either one. That's what Jason Kelsey said.
Well, that was a shocker for everybody, because I mean he could have said that years ago, right? And he just keep on saying that now. But yeah, Jason and I were having a good conversation the other day and I've been following you guys' show, and I was. We started talking about fullbacks and how, I was a huge Anthony Sherman fan, sausage. He retired last year, and we are getting, Michael Burton this year. But I've noticed from back in the T-Rich days, when we used to have T-Rich, and they were being used a lot more. And I've been just surprised with the lack of plays where we are using fullbacks. And I think they're being underused. So Jason and I were talking, and I asked him, do you think fullbacks are a dying breed? So I wanted to hear you guys' opinion on that.
I mean, to me, the way the league is going, and especially for what our offense is, we're a spread offense. And I think right now we've added extra tight ends to try to see what we can do because for one, we don't have a short yardage game. Our short yardage red zone, we don't score a lot, and that hurt us last year. And I think bringing another tight end, as Jason would put it, it helps that, and it takes a lot of the direction off of Kelsey and away from the passing game, because now we can load the box and pound the ball in the end zone. But also we got some great playmaking tight ends that'll help. Now fullbacks, yeah, they are kind of becoming extinct, which is bad because there's been some great ones that have come through and paved the way for a lot of good running backs. But having, those big name running backs hasn't been what's getting everybody to the Super Bowl right now. And you look at what the running teams right now, Cleveland, they got a double two-headed monster and they're running backs. But I don't think they use a fullback. I don't even think Derrick Henry uses a fullback. He just lines up deep and goes downhill. So yeah, it sucks to see that position is not, as big as what it used to, and especially with what Sherman has done, T-Rich and all these other guys that have come through, to see the things that they've done for the team. So I hate to see it go, but I can't sit there and vouch and say I think we need it back either.
Mm-hmm.
Lionel, who was the best fullback you ever went against?
Fullback, damn. Best fullback. Man, I don't remember any. Sam Gash.
Sam Gash, that sucker was big.
Sam Gash, smash Gash. He had the head of a defensive tackle with the body of a running back. He had a huge head, man. They call him bobblehead, but yeah, Sam Gash. He was a hitter.
And there were some good ones in the division at the time when you guys played. It was Zach Crockett,
who was the man?
Lorenzo Neal.
Zach Crockett. Who was the guy in San Diego?
Lorenzo Neal.
Lorenzo Neal. Yeah, he was a good one too. Yeah, I forgot about him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you see guys like that, the fullback, and they used to just love them because they would just put like one tape around their wrist, and the big old neck roll, and just come out there and
right. Exactly.
No gloves or nothing on. It's as raw as they want to be coming out there to play. And Fatima, Eric makes a great point, and like I told you before, because the way the offenses are moving, guys are not utilizing the fullback anymore. And so sometimes if you think about carrying a guy like that on your roster, it's like, well, do we necessarily need that guy? And like you're talking about Derrick Henry, Derrick Henry is his own fullback in itself, right? He don't need no help. And so, when you start thinking about it, and also you start looking at the rushes, the guys that are effective, the teams that are effective, really don't use fullbacks. They just really don't. And you know, Shermanator, man, was a great player. He was one of those guys that people loved to see him when he came in. But the days of, like you said, Shermanator, T. Rich, you know, those days are kind of going. But sometimes when you see trends, maybe they come back because everybody start pushing toward, you know, throwing the football down the field and spreading it out. Somebody's like, look, you know what? Let me bring this gimmick in and then hit you over the head with it. And so you might see that now where teams are just, they got that little, that ace in the hole when they need it. So
absolutely. And you bring up a great point. And that's something I'm thinking with Michael Burton coming in. We signed him up for a year contract, I think for right under $1 million. Maybe Andy Reid has something in his back pocket that he creatively could play him as a decoy or something and bring back some old plays that fullbacks were a big part of the offense. So I just would hate to see that position die. You know, I watched T. Rich. I met T. Rich, great guy, amazing player. Sherman, like I said, has been a fan of him. He's a great guy on and off the field. So I'd love to hopefully see some more of fullbacks this year in the Chiefs.
Yeah. I mean, you never know what you're going to get with Andy Reid. He's like a pot of gumbo. You know, he has every single play imaginable in his playbook. And some things is like, where the hell did he come up with this play? Right. You know, but you know, he's very creative at doing things with certain individuals that he see that can fit into his scheme. So yeah, you never know what you get from him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he might line him up wide and throw deep on him, you know.
Yeah.
Well, he ain't never gonna throw his way. Here it comes. Before you know it, here it comes.
Yeah. Awesome. And I guess another question for you guys on mine I had after watching last week. So I'm thinking back from something that you guys talked about the media in Philly and how the media sometimes tend to really come hard at the players. And I've been thinking, you know, in today's day and age with social media, you have instant feedback right at your fingertips. I mean, you can look at anything right then and there. And at your time, Jason, I think maybe MySpace was a thing, but the instant feedback wasn't yet as instant as today. And I was talking to a Division I quarterback from a friend of mine, and he said that he no longer will tweet or read his tweets, anything with his name during season. So I wanted to ask you all, like, how do you think that's affecting players today? You know, having that instant feedback and social media, how is that playing a role in their mental stability and their confidence day to day?
Get it, Jelly.
How do it affect? I mean, personally, me, I didn't even watch the news during the season because I didn't want to hear it. You know, the only time I watch the news, I know I had a good game. Outside of that, I wouldn't even watch the sports channel. But I mean, if you into that, I mean, I think we're a little tougher. I think players are tougher and they're used to dealing with criticism. So I don't really think it affects the players unless they're one of those guys that's constantly on social media. I'm not a big social media guy, but I doubt it, you know, because I know my son plays now and they can't post during the season. They can't say anything that's has anything to do with the game. They can't post anything about the game. They can only talk about whatever's going on in their personal life. So I'm sure there's restrictions on that too. Probably, I won't be surprised if it's in the contract now. What they can and can't say on social media.
So I think it's different is because we only had the Gazette, you know, a Journal Star, some kind of newspaper, or the news. You know, it's hardly ever you get ESPN unless you're a big name player. So
Right.
Yeah, it affected us a lot because if you're on the newspaper, it's a big write-up. You know, like nowadays you can have like a play involved that's, you know, a little hiccup in the game, and somebody might comment during the game and say, "Oh, he sucks," and it's not that big of an issue. But in today's age, athletes have so many followers; they don't have time to read everything that they print, that they say. Unless you're like a Kevin Durant who just takes it and runs through everything and just picks out the little things that bother you. I know there's been times where I've gotten stuff in my inbox and I don't take the time to read it. You know, somebody posts something about my name, you know, I very seldomly say it or address it. So I think with college athletes, what Lionel was talking about, they're not allowed to post certain things. But in the pros, you can say and do whatever you want to. You can react whenever you want to. It's up to you. So, but having so many fans and so much of a broad spectrum to where you can be addressed, I would think that a lot of them don't even pay attention to it, because you look at LeBron. LeBron's one of the greatest players. He's up there talking with, they compare him to Michael Jordan. If you read through all the hate that LeBron gets, you really think that he's reading all this and saying like, I'm gonna let this bother me? No, because like he has his goal in mind is to win championships, to make sure his body's in great shape to go out and perform every year. If he has a bad game, he has a bad game, But yeah, I don't know. It's to each his own. It's a hard situation to really address, but like I said, back for us, it was just the newspaper and then maybe a hit or two on the news. So.
All right. So I'll say it like this. I don't think everybody is like LeBron, right? There's players who's trying to get their name out here, and they're tweeting and putting things out so they can get all the conversation. Sometimes what they do is it's a cultural thing. It's a cultural habit. And what you see is where you may be able to manage kids in college, high school is totally different. And so the culture breeds where you got TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. You have a chance to get into these kids' bedrooms and into their minds, and it destroys them. I mean, it's detrimental to them. And we understand now why kids are suffering from anxiety. People, I'm not just kids, I'm talking about people in general. Suffering from anxiety is because of social media. And so sometimes these posts that your people are looking out that are not the LeBrons or may not be the ones who has, 10 million followers. Well, if you have like 200,000, those 200,000 mean a lot to them. And so just like you said, that one bad tweet, whatever it may be, and we know, look, there's people out here whose sole purpose is to create division and troll and just to say negative things all the time.
Create fake accounts.
Yeah, look, I even say this, like even on our videos, I see there's somebody that gives us a thumb down every week. I don't even know who it is. I'm like, man, who? I just know somebody. It's funny to me. I laugh at it, because I really don't care. I could care less, to be honest with you. I wanted to speak on truth, but be who I am and just leave it at that, right? Because I know who I am. And so sometimes under that pressure and under that scope, it's really hard to deal with that, especially when you have to perform on the field week in and week out. So LeBron's, I get, but guys underneath that who's trying to get a name for themselves, they are checking every little post, every little, and I know they are, and they're being affected by that. And so, like you said, okay, Ben Simmons. Do we not think that Ben Simmons don't understand all the negativity that's going on with him right now?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he knows it. That's why he pushes back like, I don't want to be on the foul line. He understands these things that's going on, what they're saying about him. And so how do you take a kid like that? I'm not a kid, but an athlete, a professional, and say, look, you know what? You got to stay away from this world. You have to. Somehow you got to put on the self-check to say, look, you know what? None of this means anything. All that matters is you going out there trying as hard as you can, okay? Trying to do the best for your team and do the best for yourself. As long as you know you're doing the best job you can do, then you need to understand that's good enough. And if you fail, you need to understand that's okay too. We got to take away from the point of being, looked at as icons and professional. That's part of the problem, because we always want to look at some people different. We all humans. We all the same. We really are. Some people do things better than others. And if somebody can criticize me because I'm out there and I drop a football or I miss a block, right? And then talk about me and don't understand how this deals with my family and everything else, I just think like that's just a lack of understanding and empathy for other people. I really do. But we know these things affect people. We do. So I think it needs a better job of like trying to do something for high school kids. I'm just talking about the younger generation and even these guys who's on the younger cusp from there.
Yeah, I think that you're going on a segue that one day, maybe if I'm invited back, if we don't get a lot of thumbs down today because I'm here, then you guys invite me back and then we can talk about a little bit about that. I think that the veterans understand to let that stuff roll off their shoulders, right? I'm not I'm just a normal human. And when I was 23 years old, a negative comment would affect me a lot more than today, right? Yeah. Today, I'm way more mature enough to understand that I can't pay attention to that. I got to keep on moving forward. But what a coaches, leaders inside those locker rooms doing for those young kids that are coming in and getting put on this instant feedback that social media is providing them, and how that is affecting their game moving forward, and them having the opportunity to become, a successful veteran player down the road on the league. I think that is a subject that is under talked about. And I think there's an opportunity for a program and those guys to, jump in forward with those kids to make sure they stay up on the right track.
But how do you address it? Like, are we gonna tell them that they can't use it throughout the year because it takes away from a lot of the marketing deals that they get with companies, or it helps or hurts in that situation? But again, as Jason and we've all stated, it can hurt you mentally when you see how people are addressing you on social media. That's the worst part. Worst way to fail is when you're not mentally focused at a professional sport. And so I just don't know how you would address it.
Yeah, I think you can't prohibit, right? There's that saying that if you prohibit things, people want to do it more. But I think maybe it's a coaching thing of the understanding of, the things that you really need to take to heart, the thing that you need to let it brush off your shoulders. I think that, and it's a hard one. And that's why I wanted to bring you guys here and discuss. So it's a hard one to deal with, but I think it's reality today.
It is.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Jelly.
Yes.
Go ahead, man. We're going to let you call it a night, bro. I appreciate you coming on, though.
Man, I appreciate you guys having me on, man. And like I said, I'm trying to, I have a website called newkidneyforjellyroll.com. It's a lot of information on there. If you want to learn more about donating a kidney, I'm trying to remove a lot of the stigmas with kidney, because a lot of people, especially in my community I grew up, are afraid to donate. So it's a lot of information on there. Right now I'm on the list with Cleveland Clinic in South Florida, and I'm on with John Hopkins in Baltimore, and I'm in the process of getting on the list at St. Jude's in Kansas City. So newkidneyforjellyroll.com. Check out the website, a lot of information there, and man, I appreciate you guys having me on.
For sure, big man. Hopefully we can get you on other lists in the other states, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get on as many lists as I can. So hopefully this year next time.
Yeah, man.
This year next time I'll be able to have a glass of wine with y'all.
There you go, man. Listen, Jelly, man, love you, brother, man. We'll be praying for you, man. All right.
Thank you. Thank you, man.
Take care, man.
Thank you.
I tried to give Jason a workout there in the garage, and then we ran out of time. I mean, we don't see the fam very often, so when they come over, there's so much to do. But next time he comes, I'm gonna put him through a workout, and you too, Eric. Come on over.
Okay, I'm ready. I'll be ready. I won't lie and say I'm ready now. I know I'll be ready.
And then maybe Marcus will come along, and we could do a show at the gym.
I'd be down.
There.
Oh, we can do that.
I'd be down. Yeah.
After the workout.
Yeah.
They sent the email, Jason. I don't know if you got it for the ambassador game.
No, if it did, I haven't checked it yet. So
I will send it to you.
Okay. It's
probably take full advantage of that.
Oh yeah. Well, we talked about probably doing a show out there during this year, at least 1 or 2 shows. I think.
Yeah. So I'll put it in the group, and so everybody know the exact weekend of the ambassador weekend. And so if you guys can make, well, you live in Kansas City. So Marcus, if you can make it, let us know. Need me to get you a plane ticket? I'll help you with that.
Cool, yeah.
When is the ambassador weekend?
Give me 1 second and I will look up.
Got it. Jason, you got a place to stay, so.
Yeah.
Well, they take care of all that.
Yeah, they do. Do. But staying with family is always good, man. They got a nice pool out there too. So they got a nice setup. Beautiful.
There you go, Marcus. You're probably not going to get arrangements where to stay, so maybe you can stay with us.
Yeah,
it's November 1st.
I love that.
Have you been to Kansas City?
Yeah, I've been twice before. Once for a Raiders game and then once for the parade, with the Super Bowl parade, whenever that was right before COVID hit. So,
Oh yeah, yeah. How do you like it?
well, when I went for the parade, that was probably one of the coldest days for me ever because I wasn't really bundled up that much and I didn't realize it was going to be that cold. Yeah, but it was a good time. Yeah, both times were really good. But yeah, the parade was just probably one of the coolest I've ever been.
You definitely gets cold over here. 19 years and I'm still not used to it. It is the hardest part. But I'll tell you what, when you're Arrowhead, even when it's cold, you don't feel it, man. The energy in that stadium, it's fantastic. I mean, sometimes the cold games are the most memorable.
You know
I've
what?
been to more games.
I'm probably gonna get talked about, but I wish every team would go to a dome stadium, with the retractable roof. I love the option of being able to because there's a lot of games that get canceled because of lightning and bad weather.
Oh yeah.
I love the option of having to, if it's snowing out, if you want a little of the snow to come in, you don't have to open that thing up all the way.
Yeah.
Right.
If it's 100 degrees out, close that thing up, let the AC go. These teams are billion-dollar industries. And I think most of that money is raised through the city when they have to build these stadiums. So to have a dome stadium in Kansas City would be dope to me. And I know everybody loves the history of Arrowhead and the history of Lambeau Field. And they think that Lambeau Field has an advantage because it's open, it's cold during a certain time. Green Bay's only won one Super Bowl since Aaron Rodgers has been there, so there's no advantage. So I'm going to just say that, get that out of the way.
What about New England?
I don't want to take away from the tradition.
New England, though. New England.
No.
They haven't won those Super Bowls in New England.
Yeah, but like beating teams there at home.
That's not New England. They've always been the better team.
Oh my God.
Well, Indianapolis is a similar climate to Kansas City, and they got the dome there.
Yeah.
And a lot of the baseball stadiums have domes. Milwaukee, Minnesota. I'm definitely missing a few out there, but yeah, I mean.
So Marcus, is late December, it's mid-December, January. Do you want to take your kids out when it's frigid cold to watch a game? Do you want to sit there in the frigid cold to watch a game? Okay, that's a bad argument because if it's late December, January, it's probably a playoff game. Anybody's going to watch a playoff game.
Right.
But for the most part, you fall in love when you get to watch it at peace. You get to sit,
Yep.
I don't know. Like I said, I know I'm going to get a lot of bad talk from social media, but because I'm trying to support domes and get rid of the old-fashioned stadiums, but I love it, man.
You know what you miss on that? You miss the nostalgia. You missed all the stories of like, man, I took my kids out. It was, 12 below zero. We were still out there, rooting for the Chiefs. And that's part of the story. It's like when you used to walk to school 5 miles and, the snow was up 4 feet. I had to shovel in front of you to get there. You miss good stories like that. So I don't know.
I'm gonna have to agree with Jason, Derek. Sorry. I think that
How many games have you been to in the snow?
Oh, many. I mean, I've been to games that had wind chill like 20 below. Oh man, I've been to cold games. And
okay, would you rather?
I didn't have enough hand warmer. I had hand warmers in my boots, in my body, in my pocket.
But would you rather go?
I would rather go to a sunny 70-degree game. And if the dome will take away from that atmosphere. But again, it's just my personal humble opinion. I come from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, one of the biggest soccer stadiums in the world.
Below the equator.
It's hot all the time. And I'm sure some of the soccer players would love the dome with the AC, but I think the atmosphere of just having that openness, it's something that I personally enjoy. But I haven't been in a Chiefs game in a dome. Maybe that would change my mind. Maybe I need to go to one. So I've always been an Arrowhead, and I tend not to go to other stadiums because I can get pretty rowdy. So I don't like to be around other fans. I like to be around Chiefs fans.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I have stories for days. One from the Steelers game. I tell you what, Steelers fans, they're
Oh my
rough,
God.
man.
Yeah.
With that little towel. One was hitting me in the face with the towel. I grabbed the towel, just threw it on the ground. I was like, you're at my house. You can't be doing that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You missed
So
all that.
some fans be
You miss all that with the, with the dome. You miss throwing snowballs at the opponents. You know what I mean? You miss.
That ain't a part of the game.
That's
not a part of the game.
That's the grit and grind that you add to it, though, right? It's that, just that, chewing on nails. Breaking a brick with your hand, like all that.
So Marcus, you like the historical places?
I mean, I do, but if we're talking about me going to the game myself, I mean, I would say I'd rather be in a dome, just because I feel like with me, maybe I'm a softie. Maybe that, like, if it's cold out, let's say when I went to a couple of years ago, the Chiefs played the Redskins in DC, and it was snowing, and for DC that would be considered a blizzard. It wasn't a blizzard, but it was snowing a lot. And I remember midway through the third quarter, we're killing them, and I'm like, I want to get out of here, man. Like, I don't want to stay. I don't want to stay anymore. I want to go. And we had great seats. We were in the front row in the end zone, and I was like, we're blowing them out. We probably go. We're killing them already. And my buddy, who's a Redskins fan, said, "Nah, I want to stay. I want to see our 2s and 3s." I go, and I'm like, all right, I will stay. We'll stay. But I'm dying. I'm cold. I got gloves on. I have hand warmers, but I still didn't do anything. I much prefer a dome. I'm a softie though.
No, you're not. It's true. That's cold is cold now. Hey,
it's
true.
Preference. I have an idea. So, Marcus, you need to put a poll. You need to put a poll on Twitter and see who likes domes and who likes the open stadiums, and see what happens. That's what.
But you can't. The thing is,
that's true.
You can't address the Chiefs fans because that's going to start up an argument. We want to just know.
True.
We want to know who likes domes over original.
That's true. That's true. We don't need no argument. We just want an opinion. Like, we're 2-2.
I guarantee you, it's gonna be more than 80-90% that wants to keep Arrowhead the way Arrowhead is.
Yeah.
Well, that's a different argument, though. I want to keep Arrowhead. It's more of a dome. Do you like domes, or do you like the open stadium atmosphere? Right? Don't touch Arrowhead. Let's not talk about that.
They've already changed the name. It's time to put a roof on there.
Oh man, that's a touchy subject, Marcus. Well, guys, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure talking to you all. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on. Come back again.
Absolutely. Great sharing those with your knowledge of the game. You did a tremendous job. Thank you.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
It has been
thank
fun.
you so much. A pleasure, guys. Have a good night.
Have a good one. Yeah, it was cool having Fatima on and Lionel. Lionel's great, man. I really do hope people go to his website.
Fatigue hitting. It was Tyson. He was fighting Tyson there for a second.
His head tilted over. I couldn't tell what he was doing. I know.
I thought he was watching TV or something because his eyes were down. I was like, he's probably watching something behind the camera.
Oh, he was out.
No, but it was cool, and I hope everyone goes to the bottom right now on our lower third. You'll see the website for Lionel Dalton to get more information on donating a kidney and just to help him out. Yeah, we really hope we can rally for our former chief and our friend.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. I talk to that dude every year, man, and it's always good conversation. So
yeah,
we can bring any kind of awareness to helping him in his situation. From the post, people signing up. We pushing everybody to go out there and help my man out.
That's right. And like you said, the stigma, surrounding that. Like I said, I had a brother who had a kidney transplant. It's just, it's vital if you're able to get out and do those things. Just get all the information that you possibly can to know how this, will benefit you or will affect you. Some of these people that have one kidney live long and prosperous life. They do. So
yeah,
like I said, we'll put our prayers in, and Chief World and people out there, just give what you can, prayer, thought, whatever, and just do what we can, to help each other. So especially our brother in need.
Yep.
For sure. And guys, it was a great episode. Love always talking to you guys, and I love being able to have the show to be able to help out some of our friends in Chiefs Kingdom, and I think it's among one of the many reasons why we have the show. We can give a voice and give a platform for issues and awareness like this. So really, it was really good stuff.
Appreciate it. Yes.